For centuries, the galaxy burned with endless conflict. Massive alien fleets clashed in the silent void, their weapons tearing through space like thunder without sound. Species rose and fell, entire civilizations reduced to ash and memory. Yet through it all, one world remained untouched by the carnage. Earth chose silence. In the Grand Council chambers of the Galactic Coalition, representatives from dozens of warring species gathered around holographic battle maps. The insectoid Krex clicked their mandibles in frustration, while the crystalline Zephyrite hummed discordant notes of anger. At the center of their debate stood a simple question that had plagued them for decades. "The humans still refuse," hissed Commander Vex, his reptilian eyes gleaming with contempt. Another formal request for military aid. Another polite rejection. Other council members erupted in voices, clicks, and electronic screeches. Some laughed at humanity's perceived cowardice, dismissing Earth as irrelevant. But others whispered in darker tones, speaking of the unknown and the fear that comes with it. Meanwhile, in the pristine chambers of the United Earth government, human leaders faced their own heated debate. Outside the windows, gleaming skyscrapers reached toward the stars, while orbital stations drifted peacefully overhead. Children played in parks where alien worlds knew only the thunder of artillery. Secretary General Morrison stood before the assembly, his voice steady and unwavering. "We will not feed this fire. This galaxy's endless war is not our burden to bear." The decision held, as it had for generations. Earth would remain neutral, its people free to build and dream, while others fought and died. Families walked safely through cities that glowed with prosperity, a stark contrast to the scarred battlefields that marked most inhabited worlds. Yet this very peace bred resentment among those who bled for survival. In a smoke-filled war room on the Krex homeworld, battle-hardened commanders slammed their claws against metal tables. "Humans hide behind words while we sacrifice millions," growled General Thok, his carapace bearing scars from 100 battles. "They are weak, cowering in their little corner of space." The sentiment spread like a virus through alien command structures. If humanity would not fight beside them, perhaps it was time they learned to kneel. What the aliens didn't see were the vast underground facilities where human scientists worked in quiet determination. In hidden laboratories, researchers perfected nanotechnology that could rebuild matter at the molecular level. AI war computers ran millions of battle simulations, learning from every conflict in galactic history. Orbital defense networks grew stronger with each passing year, disguised as commercial satellites and research stations. Earth stayed silent, but silence is often mistaken for weakness. The alien armies began to circle, their fleets gathering at the edges of human space like predators sensing wounded prey. In council chambers across the galaxy, the decision crystallized into a simple declaration. If humans wouldn't join the war, they would bring the war to Earth. The first blow fell on a quiet Tuesday morning, local time, at mining station Omega-7 on the edge of the Sol system. Families had been extracting rare minerals from asteroids for 3 generations, their children growing up among the stars in peaceful isolation. Then the Krex war fleet emerged from hyperspace like sharks, scenting blood. Emergency alarms shrieked through the station corridors as mothers grabbed their children and fathers rushed to evacuation pods. The aliens expected easy victory, their commanders laughing as they prepared to demonstrate human weakness to the watching galaxy. But when Krex soldiers boarded the station, they found something unexpected. A handful of human marines, assigned as routine security, fought with a savagery that shook the alien invaders to their core. They refused to surrender, even when outnumbered 10-1, using the station's own infrastructure as weapons, turning maintenance tunnels into killing fields. When the last human defender fell, the Krex commander stared at the carnage with growing unease. These weren't the soft civilians they'd been promised. News of the attack reached Earth within hours, sending shockwaves through the global government. In emergency session, leaders argued with unprecedented fury, some still clinging to neutrality, while others demanded immediate retaliation. The galaxy watched as humanity faced its moment of decision. Then came the propaganda broadcasts from alien worlds, mocking messages declaring Earth's people cowards, unfit for survival. The funeral was held in New Geneva, a mass memorial for the fallen miners and their protectors. As the names were read, something fundamental shifted in humanity's collective soul. A young engineer named David watched the ceremony from his laboratory. then slammed his fist against his workbench hard enough to crack the metal. "Enough hiding," he whispered, speaking for billions. "They want war. Let's show them Earth's fire." Military leaders who had spent decades in shadow finally stepped into the light, revealing weapons systems that existed only in theoretical papers as far as the galaxy knew. The first revelation came as swarms of AI-controlled drones emerged from hidden hangars across the Sol system, thousands of them, sleek and deadly, bearing technology no alien species had seen before. When Krek scouts returned to probe Earth's defenses, they found those drones waiting. The alien vessels were annihilated so completely that no wreckage remained to analyze. Only sensor ghosts and fading energy signatures marked where proud warships had died in seconds. From the primary broadcasting station in Geneva, humanity finally broke its silence. The transmission reached every corner of the galaxy, carrying words that would echo through history. "We sought peace. We chose neutrality. But you brought war to our door. Now you will see why humanity has survived every predator it has ever faced." The response was immediate and overwhelming. Across Earth, crowds filled the streets with voices raised not in fear but in defiance. Factories that had built ships for exploration retooled in days to produce instruments of war. Young and old alike enlisted in numbers that strained processing centers. For the first time in generations, humanity was truly united. In alien council chambers, the mood shifted from confidence to creeping dread. "We may have miscalculated," admitted Admiral Sek of the Zephyrite Collective, his crystalline form flickering with nervous energy. "These humans, they're different from what our intelligence predicted." The first major battle erupted at the edge of the Sol system, where human fleets met the combined alien armada in a clash that lit up sensors across half the galaxy. What should have been humanity's destruction became something else entirely. Human ships fought with tactics no AI had predicted, using maneuvers that defied conventional wisdom. They rammed damaged vessels into enemy formations, turned their own explosions into weapons, and adapted captured alien technology mid-battle. When enemy forces attempted ground invasion, expecting Earth's cities to surrender at first sight of alien soldiers, they instead found entire populations rising in coordinated resistance. Farmers wielded hunting rifles with deadly precision, while hackers turned alien mechs against their masters. Students built improvised weapons from chemistry textbooks, and grandparents, who remembered older wars, taught younger generations how to fight for their homes. The moment that broke alien morale came when Lieutenant Commander Maria Santos, her fighter damaged beyond hope, made a final transmission to Earth. "Tell them we held the line." Her ship, wreathed in fire, plunged into the reactor core of an alien battleship, taking both vessels into brilliant oblivion. Reports flooded alien command centers, losses beyond anything they'd ever imagined. Human forces that seemed to grow stronger with each battle. Defenders who would rather die than yield. The narrator's voice would later echo across the galaxy. For millennia, predators ruled among the stars, but humans had never been prey. Flashbacks revealed humanity's true history, not the peaceful paradise aliens imagined, but a species forged by ice ages and plagues, world wars and disasters that would have broken lesser races. Every challenge had made them stronger, every catastrophe had taught them to adapt. They were survivors in the truest sense, and now that survival instinct turned outward to the stars. As alien forces began to fracture and retreat, human fleets didn't stop at the borders of Sol. They moved outward, carrying a simple message to every species that had participated in the attack. If war has come to our door, humanity will end it. The aftermath brought a silence unlike any the galaxy had known. Alien wreckage drifted cold in space, while Earth stood victorious. In emergency sessions, the same species that had mocked human weakness now begged for truces, some offering desperate alliances. Humanity's response came not from generals or politicians, but from the same quiet diplomats who had once preached neutrality. "We will not be bullied, we will not be conquered, and we will never again allow you to mistake our desire for peace as weakness." The galaxy watched. Earth's fleets sail into the dark between stars, no longer the sleeping child they had imagined, but a giant awakened to its own strength. Former enemies approached as refugees, seeking protection from their own warlords, while others simply fled to the far reaches of space. As the stars wheeled overhead, humanity began to understand its new place in the cosmic order. They had not wanted this war, but they would finish it. And in finishing it, They would ensure that true peace, backed by strength, would finally come to the galaxy. The predators had learned, too late, that they had chosen the wrong enemy.